Hey, this is Chef Ben Davis at Broth Living here in Denver, and we're going to do a quick recipe using our convection steam oven that you can serve as a lovely side dish with roasted meats or poultry, or just serve it as a nice vegetarian meal, perhaps on a meatless Monday or something like that. A vegetarian or vegetable paella that we're going to make here using the convection steam oven with a little assist from our dual stack burners on the Wolf dual fuel range. So we're going to start off by just heating our paella pan. Now you don't need a fancy paella pan like this, just any skillet will work as long as you can fit it inside your convection steam oven. We're going to start again with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Don't need too much because we have some oil in the first ingredient, which is what is known in Spanish cuisine as a sofrito, which is just a mixture of slowly cooked onions, bell peppers, green and red, and a little bit of garlic with a touch of tomato paste. And we're just going to let that warm up. You don't really need to cook it because it's already been cooked once. We're just going to warm that gently in our skillet to get those flavors released and warm it up. And then whilst that is warming up, we're going to add two very Spanish ingredients. So that a little bit of saffron threads. So we want to add a little bit, very expensive ingredient, but just need a pinch between your, just grab a 2-finger pinch, and then some smoked paprika. And we want to just toast that a little bit to help release some more of the flavors that we've got going there. All right, so you can see it starting to just color just a little bit darker, and that's what you're looking for. Again, don't get your heat too high. Just warm up these ingredients really nicely. Now the rice we're going to use is a rice called bomba rice, which is a lot like an Italian arborio rice, which is a short grain rice. Really important with all your rices, not just this rice, but any white rice. Rinse it a few times in cool water to wash off that excess starch. It'll make your rice come out much less clumped together. Really nice way to cook. So now we're going to add that right in there and just stir it a little bit just to blend it with all the spices and the flavors from the sofrito. Now again, this is a vegetarian dish, so we want to make sure we're using a vegetable broth, but you can use water if you don't have any vegetable broth available. So just use 2 parts of broth to 1 part rice, okay? So just make sure that's an easy conversion to remember. Now, here's the trick. We just want to get it nice and hot on the stove for a second. Now we've preheated the Wolf convection steam oven to 350 degrees in the convection humid mode. What that means is we're not going to vent the oven. We're going to hold all the flavors and the moisture in the oven cavity. We're not going to vent it out, but what's going to give us a nice tender rice as it cooks. So again, just get this hot. All you want to do is see a little bit of steam coming off the top of the pan, and then we're going to transfer it into the oven. So we've had our 15 minutes. Pull the paella out of the convection steam oven. You can see a lot of the moisture has already been absorbed into the rice. And now you have your choice to top it with whatever vegetables you might like. So in this case, we're going to use some fresh green beans that we just blanched briefly in some boiling salted water. And just scatter those around. I've tossed them with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil just to give them a little bit of extra flavor. And then we've got some jarred artichoke halves that we've got there, and we've done the same thing with the olive oil. Just again scatter them around. Got some roasted bell peppers. Lay those on there. Again, you can be as artful as you like, or you can just kind of scatter them randomly. And the last 2 things we have are some fresh tomatoes that are cut in quarters. We've taken the skin off, the seeds out, so we've just got these nice tomato fillets, if you will. We'll spread those around. And then last but not least, some green olives. Just leave them whole. I think they're much more dramatic in the presentation that way. So you've got that ready to go. Now we're just going to return it to the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. Good to go. So there we go. Warmed all the vegetables nicely. Get it through. Makes for lovely presentation, and then just for finishing it off, we're just going to put a little bit of chopped parsley in there, and you can garnish the entire thing with just some wedges of lemon. dish.